One more lock-in and I'll hit this 50k per month goal. One more monk mode and I finally drop my addictions. One more winter arc and by spring I walk out unrecognizable. That's actually what I was telling myself all the time for the past 2 years. Every time hoping this would be the thing that finally works. But how can one concept created by a single person fit millions of people with completely different goals, contexts, and minds? And why does everyone around think that by shutting yourself off from the world, it will somehow make you happy, connected, and wealthy? And don't get me wrong, of course, some of the guys who pushed these lock-in and monk mode ideas, I guess they probably achieved something, but we will never see the actual backside of their success. The burnout, the loneliness, the cost of that silence, basically. I mean, only thing that you can see is their income and their health. But is that really enough to call this life? So for those who've been through these phases, I shot this video and I will help you to ask yourself one single question. What if there is another way? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I fully believe in radical detachment when it comes to be somewhere in the bottom. I mean, drowning in addictions, broke, unhealthy. In this situation, go to monk mode or winter arc or lock-in is a good decision, definitely. But when you've climbed a bit and life seems okay at the moment, like normal, and yet few things still feel like unresolved, in this moment you start wondering, are we meant to stay in lock-in forever? This thought actually hit me when I was sitting and looking at the mountains in Zakopane, and suddenly it was really clear. I don't want to stay in shadows. I don't want to wait 5 years to start actually living, and I don't want to chase numbers first and look for meaning later. And the key thing, I don't want to postpone my life until tomorrow, when it'll be easier, happier, wealthier, etc. And that was the moment my Renaissance season began. What even is this Renaissance? The Renaissance isn't some post-monk mode vacation. It's not taking it easy or losing discipline. It's actually the moment you stop hiding from life and start living inside of your life, not locking in, not going to monk mode or some cave, etc. It's basically a return of your own curiosity, emotion, and raw energy. The part of your personality that just got buried into routines and rules. And you probably have a question, so why the fuck I need this Renaissance season, etc. I mean, if you want to remain human and not stay a machine, some strange guy who just care about numbers, etc., the Renaissance season is the reminder for you of why you started in the first place. And what it gives you actual taste of life again. You stop counting steps and start hearing music. Inspiration for creating something like content and new business ideas just stops coming from some control and schedule. It starts coming from the life itself. And I felt that I've started to create better because I'm feeling the life again. And it doesn't make you soft, it makes you whole. And I was asking myself recently, like, does everyone want to live a life like David Goggins, basically? What I mean, like, everyone quotes him, but you notice that his life is just, I mean, the 100% of pain of some destination, some mission, etc. But is he actually happy? Does he have some loving family? I mean, all things he's doing is just the survival in our world. I can't name it like in some different way. What I mean here, you don't need to hate yourself to grow. You can be relentless and be calm and in peace, and you can train hard and still enjoy the sunrise in your life. All this Renaissance concept is not about locking in, it's about embracing contrast in your own life when you can balance power and presence. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say here, you can create in darkness, I mean forever, and inspiration definitely doesn't come from isolation. It comes from your experience, from networking with people, contrast, interaction, risk in life, etc. And I want to introduce you Matthew chapter 5 verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. So God didn't create you to blend into darkness and hide your gifts and your calling. When you shine, you reflect His creation in you, and others find their way through your light. And speaking more practically how you can implement it in your life. First of all, you disconnect from yourself. When you constantly edit who you are, you stop hearing your real voice. Second, you become invisible to the right people. I mean, the ones who can help you, collaborate, or even love you, can't find you if you keep hiding, like all your life. Next one, you mistake control for safety. Because maybe it could sound strange, but perfection really feels safe. All your discipline, routines, it's really safe way because you're not experiencing something new. What I mean here is just fear dressed as discipline. Next one, you block growth and opportunity. So every door that could open requires someone to see you, actually see you in real life. How they can see you if you keep hiding. Next one, you lose connection and joy. What I was speaking of, like life turns into just, performance, numbers, and everything just feels calculated. And finally, you waste time rehearsing life instead of actually living it. So knowing all these facts, that basically locking in and keeping yourself in shadows, basically ruining your life, I just came up with this Out of Shadow manifesto. But before I will read it to you, I want you to accept a couple of things, because with your old self and your old personality, there is no actual chance that you will change a little bit, and like you will not benefit definitely from a further word. And you can probably say it out loud. First of all, I'm done hiding. I no longer bury my soul behind strategies, fear, or silence. I'm enough is am I, and my authenticity is stronger than approval. I create from truth, not fear. I no longer build from anxiety or pressure. And finally, I choose visibility or perfection. So let's first speak about business and work. You dedicate yourself to create from energy and not from fear of falling behind. You don't build an extra facade, you build trust through transparency. You're sharing not only wins, but the process. You stop trying to control every step and move with the flow. Next one is relationships, like friends, people, and even women. You don't play a role or perfect, you stay real and stay alive. You show your weaknesses, and that's what actually creates depth and not distance. You don't chase approval, you look for honest resonance. And you're listening people to understand, not to just respond to something smart, something calculated. You're just communicating with people because you enjoy the communication actually. Next one is body, like training and working out. You're training not for shape, but for strength and clarity. So this way you listen to what your body signals saying to you, and you don't silence it with discipline. So if you don't want to go to gym today because you feel like you're really tired or you really don't want to do this, discipline will not help you, because in 1 week you will burn out and you will not go to gym for 6, 12 and even more months. Next one is food and energy. You're eating to nourish, not to punish yourself. When it comes to fasting and all this stuff, your body knows the rhythm better than your tracker, so you should eat like you're filled. If you want, you can, but in general, you don't need to count calories, especially if you're losing taste for life. Next one is content and self-expression. You're documenting your life because you're living interesting life and interesting events, and you don't just fabricating your content like it's some science fiction or some movie. You show not only the result, but you showing the path. And along the way, you're not building some image of you, of some character, etc. You showing the growth of your actual personality. I'm not speaking like you need to show all around you, everything, because people will not actually be interested in it. You should just recognize things that you like in yourself and show this, but simultaneously you can show your weaknesses and nobody will judge you for it. So yeah, your content should extend your life and not replace it. And finally, hobbies, creativity, and inspiration. You do things that don't need to make money. And I guess you should pay real attention to your hobbies because they can heal burnout when you stop turning everything into system, into money-making machine, etc. So yeah, in a nutshell, don't just undervalue simple joys because it's just a part of our life. So basically for years, I thought that living in shadows, away from everyone, with strict discipline and hunger, would make me stronger. But I think as crazy as this sounds and kind of lock in, it's just a convenient excuse for most of the people. It's just easier to follow the predictable path and not bump into something unexpected in the life itself. And listen, I'm not trying to just make my idea the opposite of the lock-in concept, otherwise someone could make the same kind of expose video about me. What I'm saying is that you need to feel the seasons of life and accept them. The season of work, you're working. And you're working because you're full enough. You're sharing the energy. You're not just trying to grab it from everyone else. So yeah, sometimes you will be more open to the world, sometimes you will be more closed and focused. But for now, for the one time, it's time to step out of shadow, because that version is the one that world is waiting for. So thank you so much for watching, and I see you, legends.